everyone, and welcome back to episode 20 of my F1 2016 Force India career mode. I can't believe we're already saying episode 20 of this career mode. The support for this series has been absolutely incredible, guys. And just a little heads up, I am already working on a season montage here of this season because it has just been so much fun to record and edit and just make great well, I won't say great content, but hopefully you guys have found the content to be good there as well. That's kind of a bit awkward for me, but still. Moving on now to our track acclimatization lap, as we can see, just moving towards the end of the lap here. It's been a very, very strong lap, getting 3 greens and the rest purple there. So not really far out from any single corner there. You pretty much only ever get green if you just don't attack it with enough speed. And sometimes the game seems to think you can take a corner at 220 miles an hour. I'm not really sure why. But still, obviously, if we get purple there, we do get the full 50 points there. But as you can see, now moving on to our qualifying sim lap. And we've actually just gone into green there. As you can see there at the start of this clip, we were actually still in the red, but we've bagged a team objective there as well. But now moving on into qualifying here, as you can see, it's starting to look very, very overcast at this Grand Prix. So it was pretty much just the fact we were going to try and bang the lap quickly just before the rain really settled in. Just hoping that the rain was settling once we'd done our lap. And we moved up into P3 behind our teammate of Sergio Perez there. So we obviously want to out-qualify Sergio here. Sergio is pretty much just a yardstick at the moment because the car just seems to be so inconsistent between Grand Prix. And then we do go up into P7 of the race they're taking. I think that's half a second out of our personal best there. So fairly happy with that there. As you can see, we did end up qualifying in P9, just inside the top 10, behind the Williams, Mercedes, Ferraris and Red Bulls there. Red Bull having a very, very strong showing out here today in first and third place there. And as our teammate there qualifies in P13. Qualifying still hasn't been strong for us over the last few races, as a lot of teams haven't actually opted to cease their R&D at this stage of the season. But at the rate it's going, it's looking like we're going to have like 2,000 R&D points just to splash out during episode 1 of season 2. But as we can see now, moving on into the race, I was right. It is overcast, and it's a very, very rainy, dull Brazilian afternoon. Very much conditions like Mexico last time out, which obviously doesn't bode well for me. Because if you guys haven't seen the last episode, I would highly recommend doing so. Cheeky plug there as well. But I did crash out of the Grand Prix. I lost it over the curbs, and that was the end of the race for me. A real shame. But as you can see, it's meant to be raining all Grand Prix here. So at this stage of the race, I was just there like, yay, I get to race in the rain again with no force feedback. But still, I'm going to look to see whether the full wets were the way to go, and they definitely weren't in a short word there. As you can see now, just trying to put the minimum amount of fuel we can do there again. Just putting it one lower than what the teams say we should be able to run with. But let's move on into our formation up there. One light, and away we go for the formation up there. And we get an absolutely incredible start as the Williams just don't actually bother to go there, as they're going to try and stay in the correct position. But now let's skip the formation up and get into the meaty good stuff. It's time for the Brazilian Grand Prix. 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and away we go for the Brazilian Grand Prix there. Bogged down hugely off the launch. That's one of the things we haven't really done much this season, and that is get poor starts. As Jenson Button is already looking up our inside, pretty much throws it up our inside, squeezes us over the grass there. Rosberg and Vettel getting very, very angry with each other. I'm not really sure what that's all about. But we have already lost one position in the Belgian Grand Prix, in the Brazilian Grand Prix there, as our teammate Perez tries holding it around our outside, but thinks better of it in the end. We lose position to Ronald Grosjean. But we're now just following Jenson Button, as there just seems to be a huge slipstream train there. Not really sure what that's all about, but Button now is pretty much just parking it. As we've got Rosberg, and I think that's still Sebastian Vettel going side by side. So everyone down behind him, as you can see, there's 2 AI ahead of them going side by side. I think that's Ricciardo and Hamilton there as well. As Verstappen has already ran away, he's already got a second lead already at this stage. He just isn't taking any caution to the wind, I don't know. But still, we've just dived on 2 AI there whilst we're talking about the wind here at the Brazilian Grand Prix there. Bottas and Button have now been dispatched as we now look around the outside of Sebastian Vettel. Are we going to be able to make that position stick? Get right under Felipe Massa's from rear wing there as well. But we are now up into P7 of the Grand Prix there. Now we're going to look around Felipe Massa's outside, but think better of that, as we just had a really, really good middle sector there. The middle sector is probably the only stage of this track where we are really actually strong over the AI. But now moving on to midway around lap 2 here, obviously this is the really strong section of the track for us. As we're just going to try and have a look around the outside of Felipe Massa. Get incredibly good traction at the corner there, as he's very, very cautious. And just ahead of us there, you can see an engine has blown up, and that is Kimi Raikkonen. And he's just parking it in the way there. Not really sure what that's all about. We're going to have a look around the inside of Nico Rosberg there, and obviously we're just going to get yellow warning for that. But Raikkonen is just refusing to actually, give up as Rosberg there just completely blindsided by ourselves. Luckily we managed to avoid him there. Just absolutely correct, like there's no tomorrow over the curves there as well. But that has lost us a lot of time on the Delta there. We obviously want to be right up on Ricciardo's gearbox. Gearbox. He wants to be on Ricciardo's gearbox as the VSC does come to an end there at the start of lap 3 here. As you can see, just trying to hope that the VSC ended just before we tried nipping up the inside of Nico Rosberg there, and unfortunately he does close us off when we do finally go for the position there. But obviously we are up into P5 of the Grand Prix there. Very, very solid start overall, I'd say, over the first few laps. We are looking like we could potentially get a podium here. Obviously don't want to speak too soon though, as Nico Rosberg is obviously a very, very fierce competitor, already the world champion now. So obviously just wanted to extend his margin, just humiliate everyone. I think realistically his aim at this point should just be win by over 100 points, as we just get a beautiful run around the outside of him there. Move up into P4 at the Grand Prix there. He's not going to be very happy. He's world champion. He's been absolutely shat on by Force India there. As we go purple now on lap 6, there. But as we can see now, running into turn 1, run hugely wide there, get wheel on the grass, which obviously isn't the ideal way to go through there, as we have to massively just shave turn 2 off completely there, just not even making it like a corner if it existed there. But as we can see now, moving down the back straight here, we've got Nico Rosberg still fairly close behind us. Obviously we've got a terrible run, so we could potentially threaten us there. But coming through now through turn 4 there, just getting over the back end slightly on the curb there. It's coming through turn 5 there. As you can see, we just get the back end massively over the curb, but on the grass. Then we go into the wall, and I cannot believe we are out of the second race in a row here in the Mexican Grand Prix. I cannot believe the fact we've done pretty much what we did last weekend. We take a lot of curb there, take far too much curb there, not learning a lesson, just trying to correct the back end there, just to go slightly out of line. And at this point, we pretty much knew it was over for ourselves, as the wheel just nearly gets ripped off the tethers there. And that is just a huge shame for ourselves there. Unfortunately, you're going to have to click that retire button once again, but we get to see our beautiful orange helmet there. So, you know, it's not all bad in the end. But anyway, guys, that has meant going into the final Grand Prix of the season, I will leave you with the points. Just a quick heads up, we will be starting from last place in the final race of the season here. So if you want to spice up a little bit there. But anyway, guys, hopefully you have enjoyed this Grand Prix. Max Verstappen is your race winner today. And I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching. These shallow waters never meant what I needed. I'm letting go, a deeper dive, eternal silence of the sea. I'm breathing.